This is day 2 of learning Java. We are learning how to program so that I can make my own website, and that will be good for me. You can't really code websites in Java, or no one does that. So I've already started learning this, so I'm going to see that through, but afterwards we can do HTML or JavaScript, which I have read has nothing to do with what we're learning right now. Also, I got a comment about where I am learning this information, and it's just a random programmer that posted a course. His name is Peach. I like the way that he explains what is happening because it's hard. But we're going to push through it. We're going to make the website. We're going to get a sick job. So follow along. For the progression, we're going to do a live coding example, which is for me, so I know what's happening, but also maybe learn something. Anyways, I am going to take the lesson, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's a brief run through of what I learned before I started coding. We did integers and doubles, which are just numbers. And integers are whole numbers, doubles are decimals. I don't know why they keep it separate, but maybe I'll figure it out. They're pretty much the same in built-in functionalities and operators, but division, there is a different division for doubles. And then there's these things called modulo, which is like a remainder of something. So if there's like 10 divided by 6, the modulo is like what's left over. It would be 4, I think, is what I gathered from that. I don't know how that will be used, but that's the fun of it. And then we learned about Booleans, which is another concept that was introduced, but can go just way further. It's kind of like in Pokemon when you walk past like an island and there's an item on it that you can see, but you can't get that item yet because you don't know how to surf. So it's kind of like, it's like a prize, or it's like a goal that you're working towards, is like, what am I going to do with this information? And kind of just like the operators of the Booleans, so like true and false, true or false, not true, not false. And there's like a truth table which kind of runs through all of the outcomes, which was helpful. I took a screenshot of it. In the live coding example, we're gonna work with Booleans. So I like to run through what I'm gonna be coding live before I do so I don't look like a dumbass. And I tried to make a Russian roulette simulator with Booleans, but it is just not working. See down here, I'll run it, and no matter what the number is, it always runs true. My rationale was I could generate a random number between 1 and 100, and if it was less than 17, you would get shot. And I know there's a million ways you could make this in Java, but this is what I went with my understanding of Booleans. But I think I'm just getting something wrong with this. This is an OR operator, and the number being generated, I just did a number between 1 and 100 divided by 6, because there's 6. I guess that won't even get you a good number. I don't know what I was doing on this, but it runs, it's always gonna say true, and my math is probably so fucked. So we're gonna do something else. We're gonna do a scenario, a price scenario. So we're gonna be working with doubles, and we're gonna say, let's say you're trying to get freaky tonight, and you only have $50. So can you afford, let's go double gimp suit. And those are going to be $33.99, we'll say. It's on sale. And we'll run another double for, we'll do the price of 2 things. And other thing we'll do is cotton candy lube. That's too long. We'll just call it CC lube. And that is going to be $12.99. Now, since we're buying something with money, Uncle Sam's going to get his cut, so we got to add sales tax. So we're going to make another double. Sales tax equals. And sales tax in my state, Nebraska, is going to be 7.5%. So we don't want to use percents because that is a modulo. So we're going to, oh shit. We're just going to make it a decimal. So now we're going to factor in the total price. And we only have $50, so we're going to see if we can afford this, and we're going to have the computer do the math for us. So we're going to make yet another double for total value. And that is going to be the GIMP suit plus the cotton candy lube. Remember, Java is case sensitive, so you got to do the fucking camel case. I'm not dissing on camel case, but it's just, I have to get used to it. And, oh, we also have to factor in sales tax. So let's get some parentheses around this, and we'll multiply that by sales tax. But that's going to give us a small number. So we're going to add back in the GIMP suit and the CC lube. That stands for cotton candy. And big thing, make sure you get the amount of parentheses right. So these are in parentheses. And we're going to need one more parenthesis. Cap it off with a semicolon. So now we know the price, and we're going to ask the computer if we can afford this with our $50. So we are going to pull a, well, what is that? We're going to call a Boolean, and this is going to be called can afford. And we're basically asking a question. Can I afford this? True. Or am I too broke? False. So we have $50. So this will be true if total value, let's change, that's confusing. Let's change that to total price. And the cool thing you can do is you can rename all of them, so it's not as much of a pain. Total price is greater than, total price is less than 50, you can afford it, which will result in a true. So now we're going to print these out. Oh, we got to cap it off. Out. We want the total price. We don't know that yet. And we would like the Boolean, which is called can afford. So now we'll run this. And there is an error. And I think it's because of these parentheses. So there's a parenthesis around there and one around there. I think there's too many over here. One. So, shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 parentheses. This should work. $50.50 false. Interesting. That is interesting. So you cannot afford your sexy knight. Hold on. Let's change this to 11. Let's say the cotton candy lube is on sale. Run it again. Okay, so you can afford it if the lube is $1 cheaper and you're at $49.42, barely. Yeah, that is today's lesson. And I'm going to look into the Boolean Russian roulette because that could be interesting if that worked. So I'm going to figure that out. But yeah, that was today's lesson. So that is where we are at on our Java journey. Remember to keep the goal in mind. We are going to make our own website. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to get a job and more clients out of it. And we're just going to know programming. So thank you for watching. Look this up. Friday Morning Album Club. Also, watch this. Split an apple. Have a good day.